Welcome to a player breakdown. This is Amari Williams from Drexel with the news today that Amari Williams has been contacted by Duke. I thought, hey, let's take a deep dive into Amari Williams as a prospect. Plays at Drexel. He's 6'10", 265. He averaged 12 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, and almost 2 assists per game, and basically 2 blocks per game. He started all 32 games. He played 23 minutes per game, and you might think that's not a lot considering there's 40 minutes in a game, so he only plays half the game, but don't freak out about that. I'll deep dive into that more at the end of the video because I think this is a guy that is just going to be a Ryan Young minutes replacement guy. And we'll go through the video, and then I'll give you a synopsis of the big picture with him. And I'm excited for him for what he brings to the table. He's raw offensively. Like everything's going to be around the rim for him offensively. Like the clips you're going to see, you'll see. And then defensively, he wreaks havoc. And that's something that Duke is looking for a guy in the 10 to 15 minutes per game type of role, which Ryan Young and Theo John have done at Duke. So we'll get right into it. So he scored at the rim, 62% from the field. Almost 70% of his field goal attempts have been at the rim this past season. Just a simple catch and rip. A simple catch and rip. And I know this is Winthrop, but hey, DJ Burns came from Winthrop. Fun fact. We'll ignore the fact that he was at Tennessee first and was number 3 player in the state of South Carolina, right behind Zion Williamson, but he played at Winthrop. I mean, here, just anything in the restricted area for Williams is the bread and butter. Anything outside of the restricted area, it's not a high percentage look for him. But you don't need him to be a 3-level scorer in the role that Duke wants him to be in. That is a good look. His little lefty hook, I mean, he's 6'10", but it looks like he at least has I think he has a 7-foot wingspan, especially with his vertical too. You live with that. And then that's something you'll see later in the video. His offensive rebounding is really good, really good. And that's your bread and butter right there, just underneath the restricted area, because as you see where he scored, it says left elbow, 10% of his field goals, 22% from the field from the left elbow. It's not what you want, but it's fine. Role players is all about knowing your role. That is, I don't know how that's called left elbow, but hey, goes in. That's Synergy, by the way. This is not the guy's video that has it wrong. Synergy just calls that a left elbow shot. It's really right around the rim, but nice lefty hook. Don't want that to happen. Banks it in, but it's not a shot that you want to live with. But that's a good soft touch. Probably as far out as you want him to be offensively as a little floater from the conference logos. And then here, right elbow, 32% from the field, 8% of his field goal attempts. Everything just needs to be around the rim. Everything has been around the rim basically his whole career. He is not a three-point shooter. He does not shoot any shots in general. He's going to shoot this righty hook right here, but just not a shot you want to live with. Anything below the conference logos is where you want to be. And right here, like something that I do love about him and what I would be very fascinated by if he does commit to Duke in the 12 minutes per game role that Ryan Young is leaving, 6'10", 265, and he's dribbling this ball up like he's Josh McRoberts. Like, composed. It was a little ugly there at the end, yeah, but how comfortable he is dribbling the ball. He averages 2 steals per game, and he can dribble the ball in the open floor. That's exciting for a guy who Duke's looking for in a limited role. And he can pass. Like, you're going to see here, his vision at 6'10", 265, I think is special. I think is very fantastic. I mean, Ryan Young was a really good passing big for Duke in this role. So Duke clearly likes a big that can pass. I mean, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. He's already making that read. He's making that pass, just anticipation. I mean, he's throwing that before he's even open. It's a good read for a big fella. 2 assists per game in 23 minutes, playing the 5. It's damn good. Here, again, guard to guard. It's good offense there by Drexel, but it shows with this offense that they love a big man that can pass too. I mean, free roller, help comes. He knows immediately deep opposites cutting. Again, face up. Here comes a late double. He sees it the whole way. Free runner to the rim. Again, he has his mismatch here in the post. He's sealing. Right away, deep opposites cutting. Like he knows that like the back of his hand. Just catches and immediately just looks. His instincts are very impressive. And then shot blocker. Shot blocker. Does not go for the pump fake once, twice, maybe even 3 times. Contest a shot. Good defense. Here, kind of like a Sean Stewart possession, misses the box out. His guy gets the rebound. I'll make up for it. Give me that. And then just again, he's in drop coverage, lets the guard come to him, avoids the body contact, block. And then he's really good offensive rebounding. This is not a very good clip here as you see that happen, but he's a really good offensive rebounder. 13% offensive rebounding rate in 23 minutes. Give me that off the bench. You're looking for the 7th or 8th guy off the bench, or 7th or 8th guy in the rotation for Duke. Give me a guy that is a rim runner and all on offense and wreaks havoc on defense with blocks per game and crashes the offensive glass. And oh, by the way, he steals a lot of passes and he can lead fast breaks. Again, just offensive rebounding, 13% offensive rebounding rate. And this just going back to what I said about his post ups. Like he is going to be, that's where he's going to be living. If he commits to Duke or commits anywhere, that's where his offense is going to be. He's going to catch it on the elbow here, $20, he rips through. Yep. But that's fine. That's his game. That's this type of game has worked for him in his career at Drexel. Let's see if I can speed this up some. Post ups, putbacks. Again, really good at putbacks. Transition. This is where I wanted to get to. I talked about how good he is dribbling the ball. Just look at that. Are you kidding me? I don't care if this is Bryant. 6'10", 265 doing that. I mean, it looks like Josh McRoberts. I'm not saying he's Josh McRoberts. Get off me. I'm just saying that this clip right there, that's impressive. Again, same clip from earlier. That's special. You really cannot teach that. And then rim run, big fella, flush it. I love how often he dunks. I mean, look, that's nuts to me. That's nuts to me. Duke can potentially go from Ryan Young, who I love. I love Ryan Young. I love because he's just Mike and drill type of guy, below the rim fella, to Amari Williams, who's leading a fast break like this. And then it just shows his cutting. He's really good getting open offensively. As limited as he is offensively, he's very good at moving without the basketball, as he just murdered a guy right there on the court. But yeah, he catches this lob threat, and that's all you really need to see from him. Is that's his whole repertoire right there. Look, Amari Williams, well, I was going to say at the beginning, like he played 23 minutes per game at Drexel this past year. That's not a rise for concern because when Ryan Young committed to Duke his last year at Northwestern, 9 points, 4 rebounds in 17 minutes. And Theo John averaged 8 points, 5 rebounds, 1.5 blocks in 26 minutes per game his final year at Marquette. And those were all career highs by a long shot. Like his first 3 years at Marquette, Theo John, I think, played in the teens in minutes. I think 18, 19 minutes was his junior year, 5 points per game. So, like, Duke is just looking for a guy that can be an immediate impact guy off the bench and in low minutes. And This guy's motor, Amari Williams' motor, is special. Theo John averaged 11 minutes per game at Duke his 1 year. Ryan Young this past year averaged 12 minutes per game. And I think this Amari Williams guy would average 10 to 15 minutes per game. Ideally for Duke, probably 8 to 13 if we want to get more specific minutes per game, because I think Ngongba will redshirt for Duke. He's talented offensively. I watched Patrick play against Montverde in the championship game. I know he's coming off foot injury. He did have 11 points per game, or 11 points in the championship game, and he looked smooth offensively, but he looked a step slow. He's 6'9", 260, so he's more of a 4 than a 5 anyways. And in the game against Montverde, he played 15 minutes and fouled out. So I think at the college level, with the minutes that are going to be limited already, especially on the bench, Duke wants somebody that's going to be a defensive-minded big first that can wreak havoc on the defensive end, and then their offense can come second, because Duke's going to have the offensive weapons to surround the guy where he doesn't need to be a scorer. If Amari Williams, say, commits to Duke in 10 minutes per game, I think they're looking for a guy that can average 3.5 points, 5 rebounds, a block, a steal. Somebody just, like I said, wrecks havoc when they come in. You just see him on the court, and you know he's going 85 miles an hour, just like Sean Stewart, but in that limited role. So hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment on who you think should be next, who you want to be next, what other video ideas you have. This was a fun one. I'm excited to follow Amari Williams. Even if he does not commit to Duke, I'd love to keep tabs on him throughout his graduation year. But yes, like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next player breakdown.